talk about at the Moldy Table.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Moldy Table podcast. I'm your host, No Time for Nonsense, and I am here with your other host, Kevin the Mevin.
That is me, Kevin the Mevin. Alright, here's the deal. We haven't done one of these in a while. Lots has happened.
Yeah,
so we're just going to jump right into it.
To give you an idea, hang on, to give you an idea of how badly we need to record one of these, I'm currently at a different house than the one that I usually live at, and the acoustics in the room that I'm in are so bad that I took a slim blanket and just kind of covered my audio recorder with it.
He's actually in my closet. I've actually kidnapped him. Fun fact.
That's fake news. That is fake news. Don't listen to him, guys. All right.
Anyway, we're just gonna I'm just like, he's in my closet, I'm in my room. We're doing this over a Skype call for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, the point is we gotta get right into it. Lots to say. First, we're going to talk about the makeup person who we refuse to name.
Yeah, we don't want his name to even be acknowledged because to give you an idea of how much I hate hearing this person's name, I have muted his name on Twitter. If you don't know who we're talking about, I adore you so much. I have so much respect for you if you don't know who we're talking about, because this person is on the news, on every Twitter moment everywhere, and I hate it so much. I hate that this person exists. I hate that this person ever had any fame, and I hate that people care so much about the drama surrounding this person.
That being said, we're gonna discuss the drama surrounding this person very briefly. So basically, I first heard about this makeup person drama very early on, and right away I was just like, barf, who cares?
Same.
I watched the original video, that original exposed video that came out, and I was just kind of like, okay, this is probably gonna be kind of big, but I doubt I'll ever talk about it, and I guess I was surely mistaken. And then it started blowing up, and actual news sources started talking about it, and I was like, okay, I guess this is actually very big. And I quickly realized that I didn't want to hear about it anymore, so I also muted basically everything related to that topic because I just didn't want to hear about it. But by shutting myself out from the internet world, the makeup internet world, I was not able to stop hearing about it, because in real life I started hearing about the no-nos that this makeup person has done. And I feel like that really got me to think about the position of commentary in the world, because Sam and I are both commentators, I guess. I'm not
a typical commentary person, because one of my videos has been about YouTubers, and then one of them has sort of been about YouTubers, but more so about politics.
Well, I'll say we're both commentary YouTubers in the sense that we use our platform to discuss other platforms. We talk about other forms of media.
We both talk about
in the sense of
things.
The literal definition of the word commentator, not as a YouTube commentator.
In the sense, I'm kind of a commentator in the sense that John Oliver is a commentator, because I mostly talk about. I'd like to think that my channel will go in the direction where I mostly talk about politics.
Yeah, maybe if you ever upload.
Yes, true.
Yeah, but anyway, this really got me thinking, because in the past, when there have been relatively big stories and commentary, for the most part, outside of the YouTube community, you never hear about them. But this one about the makeup people, I was hearing everywhere. which made me kind of ask the question to myself: is YouTube commentary evolving into something completely new? Because I think like the current 2019 scene is very strange, for lack of a better word. And we're recording this in May. Who knows when it'll be posted? But we're going into this. We're going into the summer, and the summer is where lots of things happen very quickly. So do you think that? So Sam, here's the question: do you think that like YouTube is gonna go through some big change socially?
I think that we are seeing it more and more where like news outlets that aren't YouTube are covering things that are happening on YouTube. But like that's happened for a while, but it just hasn't been in the same way that it's happening now. Like, there's been stuff where it's like terrible stuff about like teenagers doing stupid things that's like gotten onto the news. But then there's also stuff like Logan Paul does something dumb, or like Pro Jared cheats on his wife, or Makeup Boy does makeup thing, which
Makeup Boy
like,
does makeup thing.
and like these are all things that you'd expect like Keemstar to talk about, and you expect like I'm Alex to talk about, but then you see like Fox News and Vox covering them, and you're like, why are you covering this?
Yeah, because
So,
as much as I hate the makeup boy drama, it was really the first time where I heard a story like through like Twitter, just like this YouTube scene, and then like maybe a few days to a week later, I was hearing a similar discussion like in my real life, like at my school. And that was the first time that happened, and it was kind of surreal to me because, my like YouTube life and my real life are quite different, and seeing them intertwine was kind of scary, but also kind of cool because it made me realize that like YouTube is evolving for good or for bad, but I'm quite interested in it.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm noticing more and more that YouTube drama stuff that you would expect just like YouTube commentary people to be covering is now like being noticed by like everyone. Like everyone knows about Makeup Boy and the Makeup Girl. Like everyone knows about Pro Jared cheating on his wife. Everyone knows that Logan Paul filmed a dead body. Like to give a good example, last year when I was a freshman in high school, I had an assignment to just write an opinion piece on a news article, and the news article that I wrote an opinion piece on was about Logan Paul, and I got a very good grade on it. Like the fact that I could write something on a news article and have it be about Logan Paul and get a good grade on it is like weird.
Yeah, because you and I obviously are very entangled in the YouTube community, but looking in on it from an outside perspective, I would think that it would be very strange because there's, especially in the commentary community, there's so much content where the source material is so unique to YouTube that it's like when outsiders look on it, they're just like, why do you enjoy this? Because if you look at someone like me, for example, like when I made that video on Danarchy, like I was making a commentary on Danarchy, who was making a commentary on like Bluesdank, who was making and Bluesdank was making a commentary on like Reddit videos, and it's like three. Sorry, I'm a little sick. It's like 3 layers of commentary, and it's like a strange thing when you think about it, but it's also like what a lot of people do nowadays. It's like you talk about, like, back in like 2016, it would just kind of be like Leafy style ranting, and you just kind of would throw insults at people left and right. But now it's kind of like you're talking about a topic that is, for the most part, unique to YouTube. But now in late, I guess it's not, mid 2019, it's like you're talking about a topic that's unique to YouTube, but people outside of YouTube are starting to hear about it.
I think that what you're saying is interesting because I feel like I'm realizing that it isn't unique to YouTube. That like this is just an evolution of media. Because this exact thing that you're describing of like Kavos giving a commentary on I'm Alex, giving a commentary on Logan Paul.
Yeah.
This is on TV. I watched John Oliver give a commentary on Jay Leno, give a commentary on Bill Clinton. And I watched this on television.
I guess
so this is just media changing into people caring more about the media from hearing about the media and hearing about news from sources that aren't news sources, from sources that are like opinion based sources. Yeah, and you just are seeing more and more of that.
Yeah, because on YouTube I think it's like a little more blatant that it's just like a commentary on a commentary on a commentary. I think with people like John Oliver, they're kind of like a little more, I don't know what the word, they're a little more subtle with it.
Yeah, not like John Oliver opens up, today we're going to be talking about Jay Leno's specific commentary on Bill Clinton, and then the entire episode is just John Oliver criticizing that specific episode of Jay Leno. Because
Kavos would be like, today we're gonna talk about why I'm Alex is a bad person.
Yeah, well, like the difference between YouTubers and like television hosts that like are usually more skilled at what they do is that television hosts, when they give a commentary, it'll usually be about a subject instead of just this person did a shitty thing and I'm gonna discuss this one specific video where they do a shitty thing. Like John Oliver would never be like, I didn't like this episode of Ellen, and in this episode of Last Week Tonight, I'm gonna talk about why I didn't like this specific episode of Ellen. But a commentary channel would do that. They'd be like, I did not like this utterly specific thing, and now I'm going to explain to you why I didn't like this utterly specific thing.
I'm pretty sure Kavos has like made multiple videos about multiple episodes of Ellen that he doesn't like.
I just saw the one where he just gets mad at Ellen for making like a joke. It's just like, Ellen, why are you getting so pissed off? And he says that, like, do you not see the irony in Kavos going, Ellen, why are you getting so mad? Why are you getting so genuinely pissed off? It's like, dude, like, look in the mirror for a sec. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. And I feel like, but that's interesting that you can, like, draw these parallels from, like, TV to YouTube, because also, when you think about it, like, you know, talk show hosts, even going as far as, you know, someone like John Oliver, there's, like, obvious connections between, like, John Oliver and, you know, just your average YouTube commentator. But you can also take people like Jimmy Fallon and, I don't know, people like Jimmy Fallon, like Jimmy Kimmel maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually very similar to a lot of YouTube commentators. The main difference being that when you watch a YouTube commentator, the video is going to be a lot more raw and a lot more, because the talk shows are a little more, like, there's a lot of work put into them, and it, like, looks a lot, and it's made to, like, be put on TV, as with, you know, a YouTube commentary, it's someone talking to a camera. And that's not to say that, like, both of them don't have value.
Yeah, well, I do think that there's, like, a big difference. Like, I feel like with a lot of commentators, like the typical commentator, like the I'm Alex Kavos-esque commentator.
Yeah.
There's, there's definitely a similarity between, like, the John Oliver, there's a direct connection. There's definitely a similarity between the Jimmy Kimmel kind of thing. because it really is just someone giving opinions. But there is more of a craft to the Jimmy Kimmel thing. Like, I know, like, Jimmy Kimmel's fake. Like, he's like, I don't like his show. I think he's, like, fake, and his jokes are fake, and his audience gives fake laughs. But like, there's no way that, like, early or late 20s, I don't know, I'm Alex, could stand in front of a crowd. I think early 20s. Early 20s, I'm Alex could stand in front of a crowd and give jokes and get even fake laughs from an audience. Like, it just wouldn't happen. Like, Jimmy Kimmel is, like, skilled enough to, like, get an audience, like a live audience, to enjoy his points. And it's the same thing with John Oliver.
It's a different craft. Like, they're all different. It's like different ways of portraying yourself. Because while someone like I'm Alex couldn't, like, stand up in front of a crowd and make jokes, I'm not sure if someone like Jimmy Kimmel could, like, do what I'm Alex does and, like, sit behind a camera and actually, like, have a persona. Like, sure, they could probably, like, make videos of them talking to a camera, but I don't know if they could, like, participate in all the, like, festivities.
I don't know if they could participate in the YouTube drama scene. But
that's what I think.
Yeah, but just like Jimmy Kimmel making... Like, if Jimmy Kimmel didn't have a live audience and he just made a video about Trump, it might even be easier.
Yeah.
Like, if he just made a video talking about Trump and then posted it to YouTube, I mean, obviously, because of the YouTube audience, it might not be perceived as well. But, like, if it was, like, on television, like, I don't know, like, it's hard to imagine, but I don't feel like it would be that much harder than what he does now.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting thing to talk about, because then also to introduce another opinion, you know, when you see similarities between YouTube commentary and, like, TV shows, there are people currently, and I mostly see it from people who primarily watch YouTube, who think that, like, in a very short period of time, like, within probably our lifespans, TV's, like, not going to exist anymore, and, like, sites like YouTube are going to kind of take its place. What do you think that's true? Because I don't believe that, but I can kind of see it.
I think that what those people are saying are taking a different idea and making it an extreme. Because the idea that cable is no longer going to exist, I absolutely agree with. Cable is
cable's already dying.
Like, already almost dead. But the idea that television isn't going to exist is absolutely not true. Because while cable dies, things like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime are skyrocketing. So YouTube's not going to replace cable. Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon Prime are.
Yeah, because you even see... Because I think I still have cable, but the only thing I use it is for watching, like, football games or things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I never watch, like, South Park or something like that on cable. Like,
yeah.
I'll just go to Hulu.
Then there's Hulu TV or something. I don't know what it's called, but there's some Hulu package that you can get where you can watch those. Like, you have access to every single channel. It's just not with the annoyance of cable. Yeah. Like, it's just easier with the Hulu package.
Because I don't know, just recently am rewatching the Avatar: The Last Airbender series, which is a great show, by the way. I suggest everyone watches it. And they took it off Amazon Prime, which I'm very sad about. But luckily, I have it on this very old-fashioned device called DVD. I still have a DVD player.
That's another interesting thing, though. DVDs are dying.
You want to know? It was a surreal experience, because I put it in, and the first thing that came up was ads. There's, like, ads before you can get to, like, the title screen of a DVD.
It's so weird.
Like, there was, like, an ad for, like, new episodes of SpongeBob, and it was, like, things that aired well over 10 years ago. And it was crazy. And the other thing I noticed is that since it was originally like made for cable, there's like commercial breaks built in like in suspenseful places, because like I guess for a kids show, it's like it has some suspenseful moments. And if you really think about it, like if you remember back, probably, I want to say when I was about 7, in that age range, I noticed it the most. Commercials were like 4 minutes long. Like a commercial break was like 4 minutes. And
Yeah.
that to me is crazy now, because I don't watch like anything with commercials. Like I think I even paid to take like commercials off of Hulu. And if you look at Hulu originals and like Netflix originals, there's like not commercial breaks built in the same way that something like The Last Airbender has commercial breaks built in.
Yeah, that's really true. Because, like, having a show made for cable is so weird. Because, like, when you watch that show, you see where the commercials are supposed to happen. Whereas when you watch, like, an Amazon Prime or Netflix original, they just don't have to care about that. And the shows are just made as they would, like, naturally be made. Because the whole commercial break thing, it's like a fourth wall break. It's so weird. It's so strange.
Because the other weird thing about it is because the DVD doesn't have commercials. So basically, there's just like a cut to a black screen, and then it just goes back into the same scene.
Yeah.
So that's kind of annoying. But it's interesting, and if you think about the evolution, like, of what cable will become, which I think is going to be nothing, like is all TV in the future just going to look like a Netflix original? Do you think?
I think in the future, all TV is just going to be on streaming services. Well, because the thing that I think people get wrong when they say YouTube is going to replace it all is there is usually a clear quality difference in what you can watch on YouTube and what you can watch on TV. Like,
yeah, and that's not that. And like, first of all, to clear this up, just in case someone like is outraged by it, that doesn't mean that there's not value in YouTube videos, but
yeah, I mean, like,
there's a big difference between a story that's told like from a story being told in a TV show, as opposed to someone talking to a camera.
Yeah. So, people are always going to want to watch, like, movies.
Yeah.
Which is what TV is. TV is just a story in a shorter amount of time, or even a longer amount of time with some scenarios, because you need a TV show to tell a really long movie that's, like, broken up into chapters.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that TV is just going to move to all these streaming services. Because, like, I was watching, like, MasterChef the other day, and what's really annoying about MasterChef is, like, right before they announce, like, which chef is going to be, like, leaving the show, like, right before they announce it, it will cut to commercial.
Yeah, because I remember, I never got to see that with, like, more big person TV shows, but I remember it was the most prevalent in when I was watching Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu, which is a great show also. Everyone should go watch it right now. I would watch every episode right as it came out, and on the season finale, there were, okay, this is going to be a challenge to remember the plot of it. There was like a bunch of snakes, and they needed to collect something to awaken like a monster called the Great Devourer, who would like destroy everything or something. I don't know, you can go look it up. I know the monster is called the Great Devourer. And basically at the end there was like it was like a 2-part episode, and the first part was all about them like releasing the Great Devourer, and it ends with like the Great Devourer going to like kill their sensei or something. And then I remember like it's like the Great Devourer comes up and then goes towards the sensei, and then like the episode just ends, and it was supposed to be like a cliffhanger. But I don't know if cliffhangers are gonna like really exist anymore. Because it used to be like you watch like an episode and then an episode of a TV show, and then you wait another week to see the next one. But then you have streaming services like Netflix that have introduced the idea of binge watching something where you can just like fly through a TV show.
I think that the idea of a cliffhanger in the same sense that you're talking about won't really exist in the TV world, because it's not going to be like you're like you're watching an episode air and then it ends and you're going to be like, and it's going to be like, wait for the next episode to watch how it plays out. But there's still going to be like episodes that end with the plot not resolved. It'll just be like you can just watch the next episode and you don't have to wait for the next one. But what is a cliffhanger though? Like Infinity War ended on a cliffhanger, and then Endgame was the resolve to that cliffhanger.
You want to know something about that?
What?
So, look, you can harass me in the comments section as much as you want. I don't care about Marvel movies that much. I watch them. Like, I've seen Infinity War and Endgame, and I think I've seen the other Avengers movies, but ultimately I'm not like a huge fan of it. I just kind of like watching movies and talking about movies with people, because I think it's fun to have a discussion about those things. But I didn't know that there was a cliffhanger in Infinity War, because I didn't watch it, and I was going to see Endgame, and I had tickets to see Endgame, but then I realized I hadn't watched Infinity War, and so right before I went to see Endgame, I tried to watch Infinity War, but I didn't see the last 10 minutes, and basically right before the movie started, the ad for Toy Story 4 came on, and that was when I was first introduced to Forky, who's, the lovely cartoon Fork who loves to question his existence.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like a loudmouth in the theaters. Like, I try to stay quiet during the movie, but I'll kind of like goof on the movie trailers out loud. And I wasn't quite aware that that Endgame started until I saw the title card. So basically in the whole intro of Endgame, I was saying out loud in the theater, when's Forky gonna pop out? And everyone around me was looking at me and just being like, shut up. And I was like, it's just a commercial. And then I saw the title card and I was like, sorry. But anyway, that's
Forky. Forky is such a great character. He's a fork and he doesn't know why he's alive. What more do you want?
nothing more. All right. Here's kind of like my final piece of this YouTube in the world thing. So we kind of talked about, where all of this, all of this evolution with media is happening. So relating it kind of back to Makeup Boy, where do you see the topics of that the media covers going? Do you think it's going to continue to be the cutthroat, like, I'm going to ruin your career type thing coming from the mainstream media to sort of coming from like dying media platforms to new and up and coming media platforms? And do you think it's going to stay all cutthroat? Or do you think there'll be kind of like that the media will be less tense in the future? Because I've thought about this a lot, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like old media, like the news and stuff like that, is kind of dying.
Yeah.
Not entirely, but just like like the old, like, we're gonna say that we don't have an opinion, but give our opinion anyway kind of news.
Yeah.
Okay. I read a Huffington Post article.
Of course.
Years ago.
Of course.
When Logan Paul did the Suicide Forest thing. I was trying to find articles to like write my assignment about for school. And my eyes widen when I get to one point in the article where they mention Kavos by name.
Oh my god.
The Huffington Post article starts criticizing Kavos, and it's like I'm legitimately reading a commentary video right now. So I feel like the old media is like, it's like kind of evolving into commentary videos. Like that's just what it's becoming, and it's so weird. And I think that that's what it's going to continue to do, is continue to have more articles that are just kind of like commentary videos.
Because the thing is, obviously, I mean, this is really only obvious if you really use YouTube, which I'm assuming everyone who watches this does. You know, the old media, I mean, old in quotation marks, is they go in hard on YouTube, and I personally think that they're kind of like frightened by what YouTube could become, and like what they could become because of YouTube. And they will they'll go in hard on, you know, PewDiePie, Logan Paul, and people like that. But what I've always found interesting is they'll, you know, PewDiePie, you know, stubs his toe. They'll be like, oh, PewDiePie shouldn't have stubbed his toe. He's so bad at everything. And they'll just go in on him for nothing. But then there's like actual like bad things on YouTube. Because I think that the mainstream media like paints YouTube in a bad light, but for almost the wrong things. Because one thing I was showing you earlier, that I recently found. So there's a YouTube channel called Unghetto. What's it called? Unghetto Matthew.
So yeah, something like that.
And this guy, I don't know if he started this. I don't think he started this, but he made a video. He made a video that's called a kiss or grab, which I don't know exactly what it is. It's like a kissing prank, except with more sexual harassment. And
yeah,
he makes these videos that, in my opinion, just aren't okay. Like,
yeah, they are not okay.
I haven't watched too much of his stuff, but from the titles of his videos, such as "Guess My Size," eggplant emoji, and "I'll show you in public," like why don't you talk about that? Like, that's legitimately something like from YouTube that's not okay, and that you could write an interesting article on.
Yeah.
But instead you'd rather talk about, you know, why it's not okay that PewDiePie acknowledged that someone flew a plane with a banner that said "sub to PewDiePie" on it, and how that's just not okay. You know, or how PewDiePie is just like, we need to end the "sub to PewDiePie" meme, but then I don't even know. I guess the point that they try to make is that PewDiePie equals bad, when it really should be Unghetto Matthew. He's killing me here. When it really should be like Unghetto Matthew is bad or something like that, or like find things that are actually worth talking about. There's plenty more to
criticize on YouTube than PewDiePie.
Yeah, there really is. All right. Wow, we've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
All right. Should we wrap it up? Ooh, should I tell a story of me at a restaurant? Classic.
Yeah, sure. Tell a restaurant story.
Okay. This is a good one. So, I was at this restaurant with some friends. Yes, Kevin the Mevin has friends. And I had this gift card that was like specific to this restaurant in my town, but it was like 10 years old, and it had like $200 on it. And so I was just like, I'm gonna treat all of my friends to dinner at this restaurant because I just have this like 10-year-old gift card. And like, basically, when I'm ordering my food, we order our food, eat it. It's all good. And then I pull out the gift card. And then the waitress just looks at me. And then she's like, "Are you joking?" And I was like, "What? I'm paying with that." And she's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "It's a gift card." And then she leaves. She's gone for like a solid hour. just like analyzing it, and then afterwards she comes back and she's like, "Please don't pay with this again." And so I don't know how. I guess they had to do some ancient ritual to get the money off of the gift card.
Please don't pay with this again.
Yeah, classic.
That was the first time you've told a restaurant story that was actually entertaining.
Dude, my restaurant stories are always entertaining. All right, but we gotta stop this recording now. My laptop might die soon, so I gotta plug it in, and we're already wrapping up. So bye bye.
Goodbye.